My dear lovely Scorpios, this is your horoscope for June 2024. Look where am I? I'm in sunny Cyprus and I'm filming this horoscope from the beach so that I thought that you might enjoy this waves and the sea and sunny weather, and you might, meditate while you're listening for your horoscope for June, my dear Scorpios. Now let's begin. And June begins with Mercury, planet of communication and signing contracts, moving into your house of finances, shared finances, until middle of June. Now, until mid of June, meaning first half of June, you might be preoccupied with all sorts of papers to sign, all sorts of communication and thoughts around your bank loans, around your investments. Some of you might be, thinking about conception, also eighth house, like the baby. For example, especially those of you who are trying, let's say, non-traditional ways, in vitro and all those, or adoption, let's say, and those things, it might be quite a lot of back and forth communication, thoughts, your mind will be busy with those things. And also, some of you might be thinking about, for example, insurance, and busy with that, because 8th house is all types of money, especially other people's money that comes to you. So here's medical insurance or insurance, life insurance or car insurance, it doesn't matter. It seems like you might be refunding or reapplying or changing or adding some policies. Some things might be going on in the beginning of June with those topics. And also for some of you, it might be about health and healing. 8th house is a healing and health house. It might be you also will be quite occupied in your mind with your health and healing your body, especially in a magical way. And believe me, my dear Scorpios, you can do that with your soul mind. Now, especially 8th house is also a house of mystical, psychological, all esoterics kind of things, astrology, or you might be quite heavily invested in reading a lot about those topics around beginning of June. And also for some of you, it might be about inheritance. You might receive actually and sign the papers about inheritance, or maybe you will write an inheritance in the beginning of June. Now, let me tell you one more thing. Most of the June, for the most of part of June, we have Jupiter, our biggest angel, planet of happiness and luck, newly found in your same area of life, this 8th house. All those topics that I mentioned just now about Mercury. Now, Jupiter will transit your 8th house for the whole year until next June 2025, showering with you with gifts of investments, on the right time, on the right place, with the right people, with the right amount of money. And also about conception, those of you who are on fertility journeys, conception journeys. Also, Jupiter will, gift you luck with health issues. You will have the chance to magically heal all your wounds. Doesn't matter, psychological, mental, or physical. You will have the chance. Jupiter is, opening up the wings as far and as wide as possible for you guys, so you will enjoy Jupiter in your 8th house. And also it's about scholarships and funding some things, and loans and banks, all sorts of money that come from other institutions to you. For example, if you're a student or if you've been planning to study, then Jupiter will, grant you with a scholarship from, let's say, from college or university, or if you've been, let's say, trying to apply and get approved for a loan, bank loan, to buy real estate or anything else, you will have all the luck by your side, and you will have the right people in the bank, and even banks will be so much willing to give you, to grant you that, those loans, my dear Scorpio. So think about this area of your life, whatever is this. The main thing is that money that is coming into your life from other people, other institutions. And the alimony, as I said, if you are in a divorce settlement, then it seems like Jupiter will make you very happy with the outcome of that divorce case, and you will be pretty much happy with the amount of alimony that you're going to receive for your kids and for yourself, possibly. Now, Jupiter will be making amazing connection with Pluto, amazing aspect. They will be in a very friendly aspect for the most of June. And Pluto is your ruler, my dear Scorpios. Pluto will be whole June trying to help you out. You will see what I'm talking about. Just stay with me until the end of this video. You will know what I'm talking about. Now, Pluto is your ruler and is the planet of transformation, and it's a bit of a heavy karma planet. Now, I mean, you know, guys, what I'm talking about. Now, my dear Scorpios, this Jupiter and Pluto will team up together. They will make amazing angles to each other. And Pluto is transiting right now your home sector, your family house. Now, it seems like Pluto will give you quite a lot of lessons around how to be family and what it takes to be family and what does it mean for you to be family. But here, for the most of June, they are both kind of together. It seems like if you have those plans to buy a real estate or any type of apartment or a house, banks will be willing to give you that loan, it seems like. Or if you have in mind, let's say, how to fund an education of your kid, don't worry, it seems like your kid will deserve a scholarship. You know, all these kind of topics will be surrounding, you know, these planets might be giving you and gifting. And also there is another third planet, Neptune, planet of magic and imagination, which is transiting your house of true love and house of kids and children. And Neptune will be contacting both of them in amazing way. So this trio, Jupiter, Pluto, and Neptune, seems like, you know, teamed up and will be trying. It's kind of a background, you know, aspect, and it's a background kind of play that will be helping you invisibly in those areas of life that is related to real estate, related to money, like let's say banks, insurance money, or like loans, scholarships, some sort of fundings, let's say, and also about your health and conception, because fifth house, you know, rules kids, and eighth house rules conception too. It seems like those of you who've been trying, those planets will try to deliver this wish for you in June, for some of you, my dear Scorpios. And also it's about owning businesses. It seems like the money for your business, investments into your business will be amazing, and especially if you've been looking for a business partner, it might be also, you know, on the table, the right candidate for that. And don't worry about, as I said, your kids also education funds. It might be also, let's say, easygoing. Some sort of universe will be helping out, my dear Scorpios. You will know what I mean. Just let the June hit. Now, 6th of June, we have new moon in your house, 8th house, the same house, so much activated. You see, this 8th house of investments, of other people's money, of intimacy also. It's a house of conception, house of health. All these things are under 8th house. Now, new moon happening in the 8th house, you should think for yourself. It depends what you are right now, right, in your life. What is your life situation? I'm just trying to give you as much as possible examples what might happen, what might this new moon might bring, you know. And new moons are all about new beginnings. Some sort of new story is beginning there in your 8th house, and that new moon will be will conjunct Venus, planet of love and beauty. And you know, Venus is a natural ruler of your house of love, committed love in your horoscope in the natal chart. It's the, you know, house of marriages, and Venus will make amazing conjunction with that new moon. But there will be one hiccup, like Saturn, of course, planet of restrictions, planet. This is our strict teacher of, you know, in astrology. It's a wise planet. It's a planet of age, planet of limitations and heavy responsibilities, and that planet will make harsh angle to that new moon and Venus. And from your 5th house, house of children and house of joy of life, house of business owners, my dear Scorpios, listen up. Now, you know, it seems like by this new moon, you might be hoping for some sort of new investment, new money for your business. But Saturn here comes in, and it might be related with money, you know, because Venus is also money planet, and this new moon is happening in your money house. But Saturn comes in and tells you actually that you have responsibilities for your kids. If you've been neglecting, let's say, your kids' funding or, you know, money for them, Saturn will remind you, my dear Scorpios, and, you know, will limit you somehow in your funding for business or investment, some sort of. And it seems like if you've been trying to actually start a new business, and investments will come in by this new moon, but Saturn will impose heavy rules with those investments. It seems like those investors will have their own rules, rules to follow, and some sort of heavy obligations as well. And Saturn is the natural ruler of your house of communication and signing contracts. And it seems like by this new moon, around 6th of June, some papers might be coming in to sign for you. And new moons, just so you remember, act 5 days before or 5 days after. During these 10 days, each of us will get the messages of this new moon. So allow this new moon 10 days to bring the message. So you might be already getting the message of this new moon by the 2nd of June, for example, or 3rd or 4th, up until 6th, and after 5 days of 6th of June. And also, it might be related to a loan for the business that you've taken previously. For example, there might be some, let's say, conditions are changing in that contract. As an example, or some sort of new rules coming in by that contract, by the bank or by tax authorities. Some things might be, hitting hard by this new moon, my dear Scorpios, and especially for those of you who have, let's say, who will receive inheritance, for example, by the 8th house. It seems like also will receive a responsibility as a some sort of rule, let's say, to have kids or for the kids, let's say, as an example, my dear Scorpios. And at this new moon, also your conception and children's house involved. It seems like for some of you it might be about kids and conception story, let's say. It might be that you will have some chances, or you will have some offers to for some procedures to conceive a baby, especially for those of you who've been trying for long. But I would really suggest you to wait, not in the beginning of June. It's not a good timing. A bit of a later. Just give a universe time to deliver the right, desire of yours. So I would suggest you to wait by this new moon, my dear Scorpios. Now, moving forward, your ancient ruler, Mars, planet of action, planet of motivation, our drive, on 9th of June, will move into your house of love and marriage, house of committed relationships, any relationships, business or love relationships. When it comes to love, it's our husbands and wives, or those who are partners that we are long, together. And business partners that you do business together, like committed kind of signed paper partners. And Mars moving into that house, that area of your life, indicating that your efforts will be putting a lot by from the 9th of June in that area. Seems like you might be there might be quite a lot of activity with your husband or wife or your business partner, but right after it moves into that area of your life, on 11th of June, it will square your ruler, another ruler, modern ruler, Pluto, planet of transformation, and that is transiting your house of family. And Mars and Pluto, together, in a disagreement, this is very explosive aspect. So I would suggest you to practice patience and love, my dear Scorpios, because this is very aggressive aspect. And Mars is in your relationship house, and Pluto is in your family house. It might be you might be arguing a lot often than before, and also it might be concerning your living area, like real estate, where you live, house or apartment. Maybe your wife or husband may not like it, or you may not like what they chose as your living area, let's say. Or it might be about also, let's say, your mother, my dear Scorpios. It might be your husband or wife. They will have some sort of arguments with your family in general, and specifically with your mother, because 4th house, where Pluto is transiting, is our mother house especially. And it also might be for some of you about immigration and citizenship status, for example, of your sweetheart, especially in those couples who are married to foreigners, or in a long-term relationship, like moving somewhere. It might be your sweetheart is moving somewhere and trying to convince you to go with her or him, or vice versa. You are moving and your sweetheart is trying to convince you to stay, and you're trying to kind of navigate how to proceed with this situation. It might be this, but this is like of a whole month transit, and it will be at the background play, but it's quite explosive, so I would suggest you to avoid, let's say, heated topics, and kind of wait for July, because July will be a much better month, my dear Scorpios. Now, second half of June, on 17th of June, we have Venus, planet of love and beauty, and Mercury together, hand in hand, planet of communication and signing contracts, moving into your house of travel, house of education, and higher mind. And Sun will follow those two on 20th of June into your ninth house. Now, second half of June seems like you will travel. You might be traveling somewhere with your sweetheart, with your second half, one and only. And it seems like that travel you will enjoy a lot, and that travel you've planned before already. And for some of you it might be about education, especially those Scorpios who are, let's say, who've been hoping to enter into university or colleges. You might receive your news about acceptance letters and some information from those higher education institutions, let's say. Or for some of you, it might be you might get busy with foreign kind of documents, visas and citizenship, or residence permits. By the end of June, you might be quite busy around those topics, like applying, reapplying, submitting, or gathering documents for all those travel kind of or foreign affairs kind of documents. Same will be for legal cases. Who are involved in legal cases, it seems like you will get busy around the case. Now, for those of you who will travel, of course, you will enjoy it. And for some of you, it might be, if you say it's not about travel, it's not about education or legal or foreign affair, then it might be about your publishing book. For example, if you've been writing a book or researching something or an article, your attention switches to those topics, and it seems like you might be in communication with a publishing house or with an editor. Also, ninth house is all about exams. You might be getting ready or taking exam or passing it, all sorts of things around exam kind of things, any type of exam, my dear Scorpios. And 20th of June, we have summer solstice. That's an amazing day to manifest your wishes, my dear Scorpios. It's the longest day of the year to enjoy the summer, to enjoy the amazing weather on that day. And ancient astrologers, they usually use those days for let's say, productive things. So think what you want to use for that day, and especially for manifesting and meditating, my dear Scorpios, and do it. Now, June will finish up by full moon on 22nd of June in your house of communication, house of signing contracts. And full moons are all about, endings. It's all about conclusions, especially for some situation that's been already there, bubbling up. It's not something new. Full moons, they just, bring the last sort of kind of word, the last sort of situation for the already some story that is in your life. Or they also act as a big bulb of light. They put some sort of big light onto some situation or person or event in your life that needs your attention immediately, my dear Scorpios. Now, that full moon will be met by harsh angle from Neptune, planet of magic and planet of imagination, but also planet on this Neptune, planet of illusions and delusions. And also Neptune is related to fog. It whatever it touches in astrology, it makes it unclear, a bit of a foggy kinda. And this time Neptune is touching your this full moon, that is happening in your third house. Some communication might not go well, especially if you've planned something like about your tickets or hotels during your trips, or even not during your trips. Some things might not be so clear, so I would suggest you to double check now all the details of your trip. And Neptune, will square that full moon from your house of kids and house of joy of life and house of business. Especially those of you who are business owners, my dear Scorpios, for you, I would suggest to double or even triple check all sorts of contracts that you're going to sign around 22nd of June, plus or minus 5 days. Full moons, they deliver messages plus or minus 5 days. So you won't be surprised by some sort of miscommunication or mistakes in that contract. Some things might not be missing and unclear, and I would really suggest to make it as much as possible clear about anything that you're going to sign around 22nd of June. This was especially for those who are business owners, and especially for those who are actors and singers, and all those who are in a creative area, my dear Scorpios, like photographers or models. Again, third house is a house of courage. It's the house where we do some things with hands also. All architects, let's say, also here, designers also here. Now, for you guys, you might create something exceptional, something like of a masterpiece. But again, because Neptune is here, and of course it's because of Neptune, but it also might give you a bit of a confusion and a bit of illusion. So I would really suggest, if you have some sort of a person who can do that for you, like your financial advisor or a lawyer, send those documents to them to double or even triple check to be on the safe side. Also, it might be about courses. Let's say if you, it seems like you will be, involved in some sort of short-term courses, like let's say driving skills, driving courses, or any type of courses like coding. And here again, I would really suggest, to take up exactly those courses that you like, not because like some sort of necessary, because at the end it seems like you won't learn anything and you won't be enjoying it at all. So better to take up those courses that you really enjoy and you would like to learn, that you will use in your future. Take your courage, my dear Scorpios, and do what you like, so not to regret and not to be like confused, let's say. And the same if it's related with your kids courses. If you are trying to give your kids sign up for some courses, don't push them to sign up to something that they are not interested in, and you will just waste your money, my dear Scorpios. Better to let the kid choose themselves so that they will enjoy and you will see the happiness in their eyes. It's always worth it, right, my dear Scorpios? Now, third house is also a house of siblings, your brothers, sisters, and if you don't have them, then it's about neighbors, or it's about your relatives, like inner kind of circle of relatives. Now, full moon happening there, it seems like your, let's say, brother or sister, or those people that I mentioned, like neighbors, maybe you're changing, your neighbors are changing, like they are, maybe they are moving out from your house or from your city, or they're going somewhere. Like now it seems like you will say bye-bye to them. It seems like they are moving somewhere, or something's finishing up in their life, my dear Scorpios. Not necessarily they're moving somewhere out, maybe it's their story by this full moon, unfolding in your life. Maybe it's something finishing for them. For example, they are closing their businesses, as an example, or their kids, meaning your nephews and nieces, for example, nieces, they are moving out, going for studies, going to college, or traveling to some other country, and let's say they're going to some other country to live there, let's say. It might be like your siblings or your neighbor's story, if it's not yours. Also, it might be about languages. As I said, all sorts of communication is third house, and language is also here on short-term courses. If you've been learning a language by this, full moon, it seems like you might be, you might be finishing those courses, actually, or vice versa, actually taking up some language courses. And also, one more thing about siblings, it might be that about concerning their love life, it might be that they will announce something, like for example they are getting married or engaged, or they will become parents and you will become aunt and auntie. for example, uncle and auntie, they might, actually deliver some sort of news by the end of June, my dear Scorpios. Whatever it is, stay as much as possible, clear, and a bit of exercise more detail oriented kind of approach, so you will know all the details, because Neptune is making everything foggy, and Pluto, your ruler, as I said, is helping you out even at this full moon. Also, will make amazing kind of friendship with that foggy planet Neptune. And Pluto will be in your house of family. So your family seems like will be helping you out a lot to understand the situation, whatever situation is happening around that full moon, my dear Scorpios. Trust your family, especially your mother. And it seems like your house is your kingdom. And, if you will kind of stay calm and quiet and patient around this full moon, everything will be smooth and okay, my dear Scorpios. This was your horoscope for June. Stay tuned for July, and don't forget to check your rising sign and moon sign, because they are equally important, and they will give you a fuller picture of the month and will arm you and will make you aware of the month ahead, and so that you will be prepared fully. Love you all, my dear Scorpios. Bye bye.